This podcast is part of the Everyday Heroes Podcast Network, the network for first responders and those who support them.
Disclaimer. All views expressed on What Makes Us Fire are solely those of the person or persons giving them. What Makes Us Fire does not represent or claim to represent any particular city or fire department, and therefore make the claim that all views and standpoints are affiliated with What Makes Us Fire and with What Makes Us Fire only. Any mention of certain fire departments or cities within the interviews are solely for informational and opinion-based dialogue. In short, if you have a problem with what's published, just say something about it and don't be a Richard.
What is up, What Makes Us Fire family? This is Josh, your host of the What Makes Us Fire podcast, founder of the What Makes Us Fire nonprofit foundation. Thank you for joining us on the show today. Before we get started, we have a couple announcements. October 15th, the Great Londini Meet and Greet in San Antonio, Texas is happening. They asked me to come back and I will be emceeing that event. There will be a bunch of awesome creators. There's going to be the Great Londini. There's going to be partying, dancing, and just all around hanging out and having a good time. If you're interested, links in the bio. Go to whatmakesusfire.org, click on that events tab. Tickets are available there. We also have our What Makes Us Fire presents the Break the Silence concert series with our inaugural show in Webb City, Missouri, November 11th and 12th. Now, it's a couple of days, right? So November 11th, we're doing this awesome meet and greet. It's a ticketed event, and we're looking at almost 500 people showing up. Pre-sale tickets are going on right now. Also, on November 12th, we have a large music festival going on, up to 16 different artists. The concert is free. So if you find yourself in Webb City, Missouri, and you want to go check out some amazing music for free, it's an outdoor amphitheater, you can go check it out. However, we do have a VIP area. That's a ticketed process as well. There, you be able to meet the artist, have special seating, and all that other fun stuff. Now, there's two separate tickets. You can get the ticket that just lets you into the meet and greet and then go to the concert for free, or you can go to the meet and greet and the VIP area, and those tickets are only $25 difference. Remember, all proceeds go to the What Makes Us Fire Foundation, and a portion of the proceeds are going to the Webb City, Missouri's civil service members, fire, police, EMS, and military. So go check out whatmakesusfire.org. Click on that events tab there. You can learn more and get your tickets. All right. We have a returning guest today, Jason Patton from Fire Department Chronicles. If you're not familiar with Jason Patton from Fire Department Chronicles, where have you been? Living under a rock? He's the bald guy that does all the funny videos when it comes to firefighting and EMS and messing around with the cops and giving them shit and stuff like that. This guy is a huge mental health advocate, believe it or not. I know a lot of his stuff is very comedic forward, but he is a huge mental health advocate. This episode's actually a pretty quick one. He only had about 45 minutes to go and record, so we went through a lot of stuff. I hope you can keep up. I am going to have him back in the future. We can get a little bit more detailed and everything, but I hope you enjoy the show. Ladies and gentlemen, Jason Patton from Fire Department Chronicles and Fire Department Coffee. So you got about 45 minutes to do this. This will probably be my shortest episode ever, short of my solo episode I did right at the beginning. That was like 15 minutes.
15 minutes, nice.
Yeah. All right, well, let's just jump into it, man. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. It is Jason Patton from Fire Department Chronicles and Fire Department Coffee back on the show with us, man. It's been about, what, a year and a half, almost 2 years now?
Yeah, I think, just a little over 2 years. Yeah, something like that.
Man, it's crazy. This podcast has actually grown since then, right? You were one of my first few guests on the podcast. I just knocked the camera. My bad. Hold on. Okay. You would think I'd be better at that by now. Yeah, it happens. But yeah, you were one of the first few guests on the podcast. You came on, you showed some faith in some nobody trying to start something, and you helped me out through all that. And since then, we're almost 2 years in, and you'll be the 70th episode. Wow. I think you were like number 4.
That's awesome. Also, you're not a nobody at any point in time. You just we all start fresh somewhere, man. So,
Well, that's what I mean. I was a nobody within within the industry, within the podcast industry, and all that other stuff.
Compared to other people that make videos, I'm still nobody. So don't.
I wouldn't say that you're a nobody either, especially compared to other people that make videos within the realm like you make it. I think when it comes to civil service and fire service, I think you kind of take the cake on that one, brother. And that's not trying to kiss your ass or anything. You really do. I really do think that you take the cake on that one, because everybody that I tell, hey, yeah, Jason Patton's coming back on the show, and they're like, wait, what? I'm like, yeah, it's Jason. He's a cool guy. Fire department coffee. Really? Awesome. Man. Yeah. One of these days, they're going to act like that with me too.
For sure, man. Absolutely, dude. Absolutely.
So what's been up, man? What have you been doing, man? What's been going on since the last time?
Man, I tell you, just staying super busy, bro. Running around like crazy, man. Obviously trying to remain relevant with the videos and stuff. And I still love making videos. I still love coming up with the ideas and editing them and so on and so forth. And now with Fire Department Coffee, we are doing some massive productions, 4 to 5 productions per year. We actually get together, film 10 to 14 videos within a 3-day period. And they're all like super high production styles. Some of them are the low production styles, but I mean like Firefighter versus Flamethrower, which just found out was featured on or was reacted by Mr. Beast yesterday.
Oh, wow. Yeah, Mr. Beast. Wouldn't that be cool to get him involved in something like that? That'd be amazing.
I'd love to, I gotta tell you, I'd love to reach out to him and figure out something, because we do such incredible stuff, man. Like really, really fun productions, and these productions are ultra hard. And I've gained much more respect for people that create movies and produce movies and direct movies, just doing the little tiny productions that I do. And it's beyond mind blowing to think of these Marvel films or whatever, where it's months and months and months of filming. And I'm like, I can't even imagine wrapping my brain around that. No way.
Just editing a freaking podcast, I already had respect for people that did this kind of stuff, because I get so frustrated and blown away and angry at the program and the audio and trying to get it right. And man, you have no idea. But this podcast, man, we're very mental health forward, and because we have such a short time, I'm going to have to condense my questions and everything, and everything that's been going on with you and stuff. Now, I know a few things did happen that are pretty big life-changing type moments, life goal type moments. If I remember correctly, you got married.
Yes. Speaking of mental health,
exactly. Like that's one of the first things. Like, I mean, now not only do you have to deal with your mental health issues, you got to help with somebody else's. Now you got a partner that you can try and honestly figure out.
It's the opposite most of the time. She's the one supporting me. She's my wife, Megan. She's incredible, dude. She's actually wrapping up her bachelor's degree. I think she's going into her last semester. She's wrapping up her bachelor's degree in human services. So a lot of like very, very cool lessons that she's learning about the mental health, the human psyche, and like just really, really, really cool stuff ways to look at things through a therapist's eyes or through someone that does this for a living. Sometimes it's really, really cool to see, culturally how people can be completely different. It seems disrespectful to us, like looking people in the eyes. For us, you look someone in the eyes, like at least that's why I was raised.
Yeah, it's a show of respect.
Exactly. But in some cultures, it's disrespect to look someone in the eyes. Right. So it's like, it's fun. It's fun learning about different things.
And, with all this stuff going on, and I've noticed a lot of your videos that you keep to the humor, obviously doing a lot more of your green screen jump-ins, which is freaking hilarious. For me, I look forward to the part where you show like the making of right at the end of each video. Yeah. You're standing in front of the green screen. You have to pretend like somebody's there. That for me is the funniest. That's like, I can imagine having to pretend like, so it's hilarious, but I haven't really noticed any more of your mental health videos, your advocacy videos for mental health and for Bramer Institution. Is Bramer, right?
Banyan Treatment Centers.
Banyan.
Yeah,
That's right.
yeah.
Banyan Treatment Centers. I want to make sure I get that right. Now I do remember the one kind of production that you did put together, but that was a few years back, and I was wondering if you were thinking of doing any more of those later on down the road.
So what I try to do is once a year, I do some kind of mental health something, something along the lines of talking about mental health or like a larger production. This year, I just kept it very simple. I got on there. I was like, it's, 2022, and reminded everyone that talking about your mental health is normal, and gave out my cell phone number. So that for this year, that was that one. And I'll probably come out with something again. What I try not to do ever is bombard people with the subject. I want it to be very fluid. And honestly, I've been traveling more, doing my mental health speeches. So How to Help 101 is what I do. I've gotten to speak at some incredible places, and to tons and tons of people, from 15 people all the way up to, I spoke in Texas to I think it was 500 people, and it was very cool. 45-minute fast in and out kind of thing. But I try, any subject I do, I try not to beat it to death. And about once a year, maybe twice a year, I throw out my production of some kind of mental health video. So
do you think it's beating it to death if you're not necessarily telling people to do it, if you're trying to bring awareness to what's available? Do you think that it'd be beating it to death if you're just, hey, this is what's available, and you're making it more known of what's available, compared to, hey, we know something's wrong with you, you should do something about it?
Well, I think doing stuff like this is kind of how I also help spread the word, and then, doing my speeches also helps, and the videos. So what I've learned in life is that people follow me for a reason. They follow me for comedy, for laughter, for whatever it is. They don't follow me to buy coffee. They don't follow me for me pitching them products and stuff. They literally follow me to laugh. Right. And if there's any byproducts of it, like buying fire department coffee or utilizing, Banyan treatment centers or other facilities and stuff, then that's great. But if I'm posting stuff and it becomes too frequent, it almost, for a lot of people, because I've seen it, comes off disingenuous. It just comes off like I'm peddling a product to them, or like, hey, here are the resources, use them, that kind of thing. So whether it is disingenuous or not, that is just something that I try to always make sure that if I post something, and when I post something about mental health, people, they don't see it very often. So when they see it, they pay attention to it. They're like, oh, okay, let me see what this is. So that's kind of just been my experiences with it.
And I'm just asking because for me, I talk about it a lot on my platform. Yeah. A lot of my content is letting people know, hey, it's okay to talk about it. You're not alone in talking about it. Here I am talking about it to show you like it's okay to talk about. But I built my platform on that. So if I started doing comedy stuff, then the reverse effect might happen. They might start thinking I'm not taking mental health so seriously. Yeah. Right. They might start thinking that, oh, it's just a joke to him. And so I can understand that point of view. I just know you have a huge platform that can reach, hundreds of thousands, and what you do and what you advocate for, I don't believe is widely known. I just talking to the guys at work. They didn't know that you were a spokesperson for a facility. They didn't know any of that. And I think that with what you're doing with the speeches and coming on to shows and being open about your history, in which, by the way, if you guys want to listen to the first episode, he goes a little bit into deeper story about his past and his history with his mental health struggles and how he's overcome that. But moving forward, I think that you being I don't want to say spokesperson, because that means you would have to dedicate a little bit more time to it, but you being a champion for it because of your personal story, I think, I personally think now, I think if that was known a little bit more, since you have such a reach, you might be able to help a little bit more.
Well, I can tell you that most people that I meet that shake my hand or want to say hi, most of them say thank you for talking about mental health. Like, that's so most people do know it, whether it's like whether I do it all the time, they know about it, or that's how they come into contact with my stuff, or they've seen the videos that I posted, or whatever it is. Funny enough, dude, like I've been involved in fire department coffee for 6 years. I've posted, hundreds of times about fire department coffee, been in hundreds of videos, and I still have people say, like, so you do you work for fire department coffee? I'm like, I own it. It's like I own fire department coffee. Like, oh, I've never heard of fire department coffee. Like, holy shit, man, this is all over the place. So people will hear it. The mental health thing. My passion now is speaking on it, and it's a short speech, man. It's 35 to 45 minutes. It is like blasted in your face. It's got humor and laughter and cursing and inappropriate jokes, but it's a very like firefighters way of saying, like, dude, you are not breaking the mold by talking about your feelings. Like, you're not like the first firefighter in the world. You're not the first human to talk about your feelings. Like, anyone that has actually had a fulfilling, full, well-rounded life at some point in time has talked about their feelings. So, like, you're not reinventing the wheel. You're just utilizing the damn wheel that's been used for the last 40 freaking centuries. So
exactly, like the wheel's been there within the service for a very long time. It's just collected a shit ton of dust. Let's be honest, especially within the civil service room. I don't know. 40 centuries?
I don't know if there's been 40 centuries. I don't know.
Well, a century is 100 years, so 40 times, it's 4,000 years.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's been 4,000
years.
Been
around for 40 centuries.
I don't know about that. I don't know if the wheel's been around for 40 centuries. Either way, when it comes to talking about mental health within the civil service realm, i.e. fire, EMS, police, the civil service here at home, I think we're really behind the curve when it comes to mental health talk compared to the military. Now, military has the 22 a day, the Wounded Warrior Project. They have all this as it should be. I'm not dogging on it at all, but the ones at home, the firefighters, EMTs, police, nurse, dispatchers, we're behind the curve on the awareness of what's going on. Now, the reason why I say all that is I was doing some research, because I like to do some research, every quarter or so. And the numbers are actually going up, man. We're more likely now to die via suicide than we are in the line of duty.
Yeah, no, I didn't know that.
Yeah. So, and that goes for fire, EMS, and police. Like, mental health is quickly becoming a number one killer of civil service members, behind cancer and heart attacks. So we're behind that curve. And believe it or not, the military, it's actually going up. It's actually gone up. It's not 22, it's more like 23, 24. So there's something going on here that, there's all this awareness. Where's the action? So,
I think what a lot of people, so I had someone call me one time and they asked me about writing a book, and they said, I want to write a book about mental health in first responders. And I was like, cool. And the big thing that they wanted to focus on was that we don't eat at the dinner table anymore. And that's got to be the reason why mental health issues are on such a rise. So I was like, hey, look, I think that is a factor. I think there is a factor in that, now we tend to get on our phones and kind of go off into la la land, or not talk, or we get back from a bad call. We just get on our cell phones, start looking at the internet, stuff like that. And I do think there is a factor that, because we all know, man, anyone who's been in the fire service, more problems have been solved. More of the world's problems have been solved around the firehouse dinner table than anywhere else. And I wholeheartedly believe that. But I think that the factors are so much bigger than that, than just saying that we don't talk. Because if you look back 50 years ago, how many EMS calls were people running in the fire service? None. I mean, or practically none, right? And then what were the calls like back then? Like, were they running, a higher call volume amount? Were they, now that populations are rising, are they getting more calls? Are they exposed to more things that they weren't exposed to at that time? And then, yes, now you have societal pressures because you're showing up on calls, and if you mess up, there's probably a camera there. So now you have even more pressure. That's where training comes in and making sure you do everything right every single time. But anyone who thinks that you're going to do everything right every single time is full of shit and probably doesn't have a realistic expectation. You can make it low, like really low, that you're going to mess up. But, that the fact is that messing up is an inevitability. So I think there's just a lot to it. So looking at, hey, why aren't we addressing the issues? Because people just don't know. Like that's like showing up on scene and someone's not doing CPR, and you're like, why aren't you doing CPR? I didn't know I had to do CPR. Like, they don't even understand why they had to do something. So people wake up in the morning and they think that happiness, whatever it is the only achievable goal. And that's not it, man. No. Like, being content with your life is the achievable goal, right?
Like, it's okay to just be okay. Like, it's okay to just be okay.
Yes, dude. And I hear that all the time. Like, I want to wake up and be happy every day. Like, no, you don't. No. You don't want to wake up and be like, let's go. Like, you want to wake up and be like, today's a great day, no matter how it goes. That's the way the day's going to be. And then if you have a great day and you're happy all day, awesome. If you have a shitty day, then when you go to bed at night, you wake up the next morning and you're content because you knew you have shitty days, you have happy days. But in the fire service, this is where I think answering a very long answer to your question.
No, it's good. I like it.
So as firefighters, the military, and I don't ever compare, and I know you weren't doing this, but I'm just saying, I don't ever compare what the military goes through to like fire in general, because most of the time military, the shit that they're going through, they don't even have family to like go back to and talk to. They're stuck somewhere for a year and a half, and they just watch their best friend get their head like sawed off by a freaking 50 cal. Like holy crap. So I don't think it would be a sawing motion. But so like when it comes to firefighters and EMS and police officers and everything, we are taught that you must be the toughest person in the room. So if you walk into a room, you have to be able to take what's in your head, put it into a place, and then treat the dead baby or treat the burn victim that's screaming while their children are crying hysterically because they just watched their mom get set on fire. Like, you have to be able to process those things in the moment, not have an emotional reaction to it, and then bring this person to the hospital. That's normal. But the problem is no one is taught that once you leave the hospital and you go back to the station, you're now back to Jason Patton. You were firefighter Patton there, but now you were Jason Patton. How do you process the fact that you just saw? I mean, we had a woman putting those citronella candle. They were citronella candle refillable hot plates. They were recalled because the flash temperature of the citronella stuff they were pouring in there was too hot. So when she poured it in there, I'm sorry, the flash point was too low for the actual hot plate. So when she poured it in there, it exploded and set her on fire. And her husband had to put her out with his hands. And we get there, and it's like one of the most horrific things I've ever seen. But we see that, it's like, holy shit. But we got to realize when we get back to the station, bro, let's talk about it, man. That's not normal. That is not normal to see that stuff. But no one's taught that, bro. Nobody is taught that. That's why it's such an issue.
I think it's that on top of, I don't think people are aware that it's normal just to talk about what's going on. It's normal to, as a human being, to allow yourself to process the things that you've seen. I mean, every day, take Joe Schmo off the street to see something tragic. That's the story they're telling for the next 3 months. Like, oh, you won't believe what I saw. I saw this crazy car wreck. I mean, we hear it all the time from our friends that aren't in the service. Like, if they see something crazy or something just mind-boggling to them, that's the only thing they talk about. Shit, we see that and it's shut off. We're not talking about it. We don't talk about it very often. Why? Because like you said, we're taught not to, but I don't understand where that teaching is coming from. It's very rare nowadays, in the past, that you hear somebody say, nut up or shut up. You still do hear it, but it's rare now, right? Because everybody's so PC, everybody wants to make sure they don't get in trouble. And that makes sense. I get it. But where are we going within the civil service realm, within this fire and EMS realm, when we're telling our guys, hey, it's okay to talk about it, but if you do, we might have to take you off the truck. We might have to put you on the desk. We might have to. So what are we telling them? What are we telling our guys and our girls? Hey, if you have something wrong with you, we're going to deem you unfit and take you off the job. I don't know if I agree with that, because
no, I don't agree with it.
Well, I don't, because I think having a mental health diagnosis, be it depression, PTSD, anxiety, it's a diagnosis, right? And you're not your diagnosis. Somebody with diabetes, you're not just going to be like, hey, diabetic. No, you just it's John who happens to have diabetes. I know plenty of firefighters that have diabetes that are still doing the job. And as long as it's treated, they can continue to be doing the job just as well as anybody else. I believe that within mental health diagnosis, you can do the same thing. You have to treat it though. And I think what's lacking is the awareness of how and what kind of treatments are out there and what is offered, which is very little, by the way, by our entities that we work for.
Yeah. Well, and that's so in the end, or
I said a lot. I know. I'm sorry.
No. It's good shit, man. It's good shit. No, with regards to what is offered, there are always things offered outside of what you may see in the fire station. Fire stations, you're just going to hang your typical, if you need help, you can contact your EAP. Here's the number. EAPs suck. They all suck. I'm sorry. I'm sure there's one or two out there that are breaking the molds, but for the most part, and I don't blame it on the EAPs. The EAPs suck because they're overwhelmed. It's like we all get mad at nursing homes. Like we show up at nursing homes and we're like, you guys are a bunch of idiots. Like everyone in this facility is a moron. What are you doing? But then you sit there for 2 seconds and go, okay, who's working in these nursing homes? Well, most of the time, it tends to be people that don't have the highest level of training and they're completely overwhelmed because the most high acuity without like medically diagnosed, it's not like people that are paralyzed, that kind of thing, but like the most high acuity people or elderly that need the most help at all times. And they have 15 of those patients to one nurse. Like we want to get mad at them, but I think it's a societal issue or a systemic issue that's causing those problems. But that's the same thing with us. Guys and girls look for the mental health resources, but they don't know that they need mental health resources. And everybody does the same thing. Everybody waits until it's absolute shit. Like they are now drinking a bottle of alcohol a day. They can't have a conversation with someone without getting pissed off or whatever it is. Like no one just does the small pieces. It's like you're supposed to change your car oil every 3,000 miles, but you say, screw that crap. You wait till 30,000 miles. And now it's a massive issue. You got to have your engine completely or overhauled, so on and so forth. People don't want to be proactive. They want to be reactive. So resources don't matter as much as getting people to understand that verbalizing is the number one cure.
Do you think we have that mindset of waiting until pretty much rock bottom because of our training? And not even our training, not necessarily our training, because our training tells us call for help as soon as you feel like you need it, right? But who calls for help when they feel like they need help? No, you're going to try to figure that shit out until like you're literally rock bottom and you need somebody to come save your ass, right? We've developed this mindset within the services that we're in that if you can't get the job done, right, you're a piece of shit or you're a weakling or, whatever. So if I can't figure my own shit out by myself, then I'm a weakling, right? And then we wait until it's almost too late before we start reaching out, before we call the Mayday, so to speak, right?
No, I don't think that's a firefighter thing. I think that's a human thing. Dude, no one that I know of that functions. I mean, look at like smoking cigarettes or eating like dog shit as you're hitting your vape.
Yeah. You said that. I'm like, fuck. My bad.
People don't want to do something about anything until it is so bad that it is forced upon them to do something. Like you don't change your dieting habits until you go to your doctor and your doctor is like, you're going to die if you don't stop doing this. Like finding moderation is extremely difficult for people. I have spent a lifetime attempting to find moderation in my own life, dude. And it is hard, bro, because we want to enjoy things, but when we enjoy things, we want to enjoy them to the max. And we don't want to fix things until they absolutely have to be fixed. The saying, we've always done it this way, is said a lot because that's the way people operate, not just firefighters, people. So
do you think it's a little bit do you think that idea is a little bit more in tune or more pushed forward within the fire service though? I mean, we hear it all the time, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. It's tradition. Don't fuck with tradition. change is the, change is the downfall of the fire service and all this other stuff.
Yeah.
We hear it all the time, when in reality, change is actually beneficial while keeping true to our traditions as well. There has to be some changes. What can we do as advocates and as people who are trying to make a change, other than just talking about it, though? Because we can talk about it until we're blue in the face, but until there's some type of results or some type of people coming out of getting some type of help and being like, yes, no, it works, you guys should do this, which again, you're asking somebody to get out of their shell and be open and honest. I think until that happens, we have an uphill fight, because we can talk about it until we're blue in the face, but until they're willing to go and do what needs to be done for themselves, not only for themselves, but for the people around them, their families, their jobs, their careers, it's an uphill battle. It's like screaming at a brick wall.
Yeah. Well, number one, sometimes people like to think of this as talking to another person and convincing them of something, and you're not doing that. You're not out in your little tiny, dinghy boat gonna make a right-hand turn. You're in the Titanic with one of the rudders broken. This is almost impossible to change something of this size. It'll change, but it's gonna take a long, long time, because people don't want to seem weak, even though weakness does not come from these things. But any change, what's the greatest saying in the fire service? Firefighters hate two things: change and the way things are. It's so true. But people don't want to change because they've been taught something their entire lives leading up to this point. And they're like, if I change this, is it going to change who I am as a person? No. In fact, it makes you better. Some of the greatest people I've ever met are the people that I know will tell me, hey, man, I had a bad day today, bro. Or, hey, I had a great day today. Because I know that if they're willing to tell me they had a shitty day, then when they tell me they're having a good day, that's probably the truth, man, because they're willing to tell me the opposite. I love someone. I'll show them a video. They're like, what do you think about this? They're like, it's not your best video I've ever seen. I love that. You know why? Because when I show them a video and they're like, that was awesome, I'm like, I know that person's telling me the truth. So we will not change the culture until the culture understands that a well-rounded firefighter, from sucking it up and getting it done to crying when they need to cry, we will never be better until those two things are accepted equally.
That's a good point. Until they're accepted equally. I don't know if the culture right now is ready for that. I see it shifting some, because I have talked to a few. Now, I know of a few firefighters within my own department that have gone to like the Center of Excellence, gotten help, came out. And when I talk to them on a personal level, they are all about it. They're like, oh my God, it was great. This, that, and this is what it did for me. But if you were to ask them, hey, would you mind sharing that experience so others that are maybe a little bit afraid to even speak up about having an issue would feel more at ease? It's like, oh, hell no. No. I'll talk to you one-on-one, but you want me to let other people know that I went? No, fuck you. And it's like,
I don't get that, man. I get it. Look, I get it.
I get it.
Yeah.
Right. I get it, but I think it's going to be people like that, champions like that are going to start shifting the culture, because that's when, some people, how within the hierarchy, within the fire service, you have some that are respected a little bit, some that aren't really respected at all, and then some that are like really held high, right? Yeah. Within the fire service, they can be a firefighter, a lieutenant, a chief, captain, doesn't matter. But some of these guys would be held in high regard to others. And if they were to just a little bit of their story, might be able to start breaking. Hey, well, if he says it's okay, then I guess it's okay, right? And
that's people don't think that that's the way it goes. They think that this is the way it goes. Like, hey, man, I went and got help, bitch. Like, okay, you good now? Can I have a beer around you? Or are you gonna be okay if I drink a beer? Like that's not the way it is, man. My father was incredible, dude. He passed away from cancer, but my dad was amazing. My dad would talk about what was going on. He would talk about what bothered him. And then he was the strongest guy I knew, dude. And that's like me. I will cry when I need to cry, and I will talk about my feelings. But I'll tell you right now, man, I've like vomited and shit myself working out, bro, because I'll push myself to that limit if I have to do it. Those are not, one does not cancel out the other. Talking about your feelings does not make you a bitch. Like it, in fact, it makes you better, bro, because then you can actually get in tune with who you are. And people will, if more people are willing to share their stories, then it will get better, but you can't force it.
No, you can't force it.
Yeah. There's a saying in recovery, you can't rob somebody of their rock bottom. And I love it, dude. Like I'm not, I'm not sober or anything. I'll have some beers every once in a while, but I love that because you can't force a culture into something it doesn't want to go into. You have to instill it into the baseline of the culture and then let the culture bring it into itself. So, mental health should be a part of every recruit class. Hey, talk
Absolutely.
about what's going on.
Do you think maybe sorry to interrupt. Do you think it has something to do with relatability? Like, how can we bring this subject into relatability? How can we relate to it on a day-to-day basis with the jobs that we do? I think, because it sounds like what you're saying is relatability. How can we turn this into a relatable subject that all of us can understand, right? Not all of us are going to know about it because we're not going through it, but we can understand it. We can get it. It needs
to be exclusive. The two thoughts need to be mutually exclusive. In recruit class, you need to say to someone, I need you to, and again, this is what drives me absolutely nuts, bro, is that someone will say like, you're going to put a mask on and we're going to black it out. And I'm going to have you go search a building, a right-hand search pattern, search the building. You've never done this before. You're scared of the dark, but you can push through that, bro. You can push through it. Get that fear, put it together and then get in there and do it. And it's like, you want people to explore their vulnerabilities because that's exactly what you're telling them to do in those places, but you won't do it when it comes to the emotional or mental side of it. So what has to happen is in the recruit classes, they need to say, I need the guy or girl that is willing to vomit into their mask, to grab that victim and pull them out and eat their own vomit and like push themselves to the brink of death to get the job done. I need that person. But I also need the person to that same person to be able to go back to the station and talk about why having to vomit into their mask and almost die was one of the most emotionally harrowing things that they've ever been through. Like, I need that same person. Those things need to be mutually exclusive. And fire departments will never get it because they're all reactive and it's always the same thing. Why did Jimmy freak out and punch that patient in the face and then shit on the chief's desk? Oh, well, Jimmy's been going through shit for the last 6 months, but you didn't want to recognize it because, we can't have those kind of firefighters here. Like, okay, like he was a great firefighter before, went through a divorce. Now what are we going to do for him?
Yeah, and that's something else too. Life experiences outside of the job, right? Yeah. Right. We're also human beings too. Everybody, if you didn't know, we're not just firefighters. Jason's not just some guy that makes funny videos and is a firefighter. He's a human being. He's a husband. He's a father, and I am a father. I'm a human being. I go home. The job. I mean, yes, we are firefighters all the time, but we're not like firefighters all the time. We have normal life experiences, divorce, family tragedies,
financial issues. Yeah.
Financial issues. All of these things also are weighing on top of us. And how do we bring that into the culture like we were talking about where, all right, hey, guys, like for me, what I did, I sat my guys down. I was like, hey, guys, I'm going through a divorce. And I might be quiet. I might not be 100% there, but I'm good to do the job. As soon as that tone hits, everything disappears. I'm ready to go. But I just want to let you know here at the station, if I'm not 100% there, this is the reason why. I think I'm like one of the only ones that I know of that's ever done that. Yeah. As a matter of fact, one of the other firefighters came to me and told me, he goes, thanks for telling me that, dude, because I would have never known. I would have thought you were just pissed off at us or you just didn't fucking care. And I'm like, no. I want to let you guys know because I'm in my head a little bit because of everything I'm going through, but I want to let you know that I can still get the job done. And then I did tell him, I was like, if you do notice a shift in my work behavior, or if you do notice me slacking in any way, please pull me to the side and let me know, because I want to make sure that my mental health issues, mind you, this is after my, attempts and everything. They were aware of that. So I wanted them to feel like they had some say so and that I was going to listen to them. Right. Like I was going to be.
That, dude. Yeah. I love that, because that was huge of you to talk to them about that, bring it to the forefront, even allowing them to kind of join in with what you're going through, your journey. If they chose to come and try to talk to you and you were like, hey man, I don't want to really talk about it, but I just want to, I appreciate it. Also, I want to say this. There are a lot of fire departments that are doing things right. Just again, at the end of my speech, I always talk about that you need two types of buy-in in order for these things to work. You need fire departments, literally from city council members all the way down to, the chief on the higher side, in HR, to be able to buy into saying, like, if you ask for help, we'll give it to you. We will not suspend you. We will not fire you. We will support you, give you the time off that you need, and hopefully be able to support you through benevolence if you need financial support as well. But we'll support you in that. And they have to get that so firefighters on the bottom are willing to buy in and feel comfortable with the process. But that is very, very difficult, man. And I like that you went to your guys, bro. One of my fellow firefighters going through divorce, man. And he told me this, dude, and he wasn't okay with it, man. He's very upset about it. But it was like this immediate, like, but it's fine. We're gonna fucking do it. I'm like, all right, cool, yeah, let's go. I was like, but if you need to talk, just come talk to me, man. He appreciate it. He's like, thank you, So like, but it was big of him to talk about it, and I was proud of him for that. And I think that's big, man. That's very cool that you did that.
Well, I mean, if I'm gonna preach it, I got to be about it, right? I can't just talk about it. I got to walk about it as well, and that's in my personal life and that's the way I feel. Moving forward with this conversation, because I know you only have like 15 more minutes left. We've gone through a lot of stuff. So everybody that's listening, I hope you've kept up, because we have blasted through so much stuff right now. And brother, I really do appreciate you coming back on the show. I wish I knew you only had 45 minutes before.
I'm sorry, man.
It's all right. I mean, typical firefighter, like you said, we're reactive, right? So I'm doing my best to make it work. No, man, I appreciate your input and your ideas about this, and me allowing to cut you off and ask you a question, because I truly think that it's going to be conversations like this where everybody has an idea or a possible solution that somebody can listen to, and hopefully that right person hears it. DC or any city government that has a fire department, if you're part of any of those and you listen to this conversation, know that your guys and your men and women that are protecting that city are going through these things, and these are the conversations we're having without you listening. It's nice to get a different perspective, right? Because I don't have all the answers. You might not have all the answers, but when we all as a collective get together and start talking about it and start having different ideas, and hey, that's a good idea, but did you think about this and this part of that idea? Well, no, I didn't. Thanks for bringing that up. Let me try to figure it out. Thanks, Jason. It was a shitty idea now, but it's a good process in figuring out what a good solution would be to the problem. Right.
And I think what you're saying is amazing, because conversations are the way we fix issues. I don't think I'm the end all be all when it comes to mental health thought processes as a way to think that ways to fix things. I know that I need, sometimes I'll say something and someone's like, I mean, you could do it this way. I'm like, that's awesome. But that's the way that everything has happened in the world, is through conversations. People don't want to have conversations anymore, though. They want to state their opinion, and their opinion is the way their opinion is, and that's it, and then when it comes to, dude, this is probably one of my favorite things that I think about, man, is like, you walk into a room and firefighters want to be the alpha dog. They walk in, they're like, I don't give a shit what anyone thinks about me. Like, we're going to go through this stuff, and we're going to go, let's go. And it's like, all right, cool, man. Hey, talk about your feelings. Yeah, why? I don't want the guys to think I'm a bitch. What just happened to you not giving a shit about what other people think? Like, where did that go? Like, you do care what other people think. And you're still the toughest guy in the room, but you're even more of a tough guy because you allowed the dude next to you to be like, you're right. That was messed up, man. Thank you for saying that. Now I feel better in my own head. Still the toughest guy in the room. Still bench 395 pounds. Like you're still good, bro. So
yeah, you're still the hoss, right? You're still the guy that can get shit done. We know it. We get it.
Trunky God, you know. Yeah.
Speaking of which, Truckee God, man. How's I know you can't say the fire department you work for and everything, and we're gonna switch the conversation just a little bit. We'll get in a little bit lighter note, but before we do, thank you again for diving into this conversation with me. So you have fire department coffee. That stuff is taking off. I know that, so I don't even have to ask you really much else because we can all see it. I have to get I want to get Fenton. Firefighter Felton. Right, Felton?
No, you got it. Firefighter Fenton. Yep.
Firefighter Fenton. I've been asking him to come on the fucking podcast before, and he messaged me on Instagram before. I just like, dude, I just need that mustache on the podcast. Like, you can just sit there and stare at me. Just sit there and stare at me. I'll talk the whole time. I don't care. So I need you to do me a solid and be a bro and have him contact me again. But Fire Department Coffee is doing well, man. And
thank you.
Fire Department Chronicles is still doing amazing.
Thank you.
How's life at the firehouse going?
It's good, man. Yeah, I love it, dude. I got that recent promotion to driver, which was incredible. And then it's awesome, dude. You know, getting the promotion's been cool. Being able to my fire department, thankfully, they've been a lot more open to a lot of the stuff, and they've always been very supportive. But you know, now we're putting together our first annual firefighter ball. Again, we do the donations every year to help kids, underprivileged kids in the area, which I think is always fun, man. But it's been great, dude. Everyone's very receptive to what's going on, man, and we're having a great time. So I couldn't be happier.
All right, so that's great to hear. And I'm going to be a firefighter and be like, yay, good for you. You got your promotion. Join the club. 2 drivers. You got 2 EOs talking on. So you know what we do. We sit on the couch until we're ready to drive the truck. That's from one of your videos, by the way. We sleep, eat, and sit on the couch until we're ready to drive the truck. That's all we pretty much do. He's not saying no, everybody. So it's got to be true. It's got to be true. He's not saying no. But is there anything that you can share with the What Makes Us Fire audience that might be coming up that you're excited about or that you're looking forward to? Personal or business?
Yeah. I mean, business wise, I got a couple. One thing I may actually, we filmed a pilot for a TV show. I am not comedic in this one. This is me going to different fire stations and different EMS stations across the United States. We'll follow the guys while they're running calls, and I'll explain what they're actually doing to the viewers. We filmed a pilot. It seems to be doing very well, and might actually have a TV show on network television soon. So that would be very cool.
Bro, congratulations. That's amazing.
Thank you. Yeah. We'll see what happens. But many people would not understand what was happening because I'm not making jokes. But it'll be fun, man. And then, Fire Department Coffee, dude, we got that. We are now in 3,000 retail stores. We're aiming for 40% of retail in the next year, which would be very, very cool. And we're releasing a video probably tomorrow called Jobtown. And it's just it's about what your first structure fire really feels like. So
that's gonna be fun. I can't wait for that one. Have you guys thought about working with I know Fire Department Coffee donates was it 10%, right? 10% of net proceeds, of the net proceeds go to help firefighter families, correct? Correct me if I'm
wrong. Sick and injured first responders. So if you're injured, whether physically or mentally on the job, then we typically once a month is when we pick someone. We'll pick someone and we donate either cash directly to them or the benevolent funds that they're associated with for them to be able to donate.
That's awesome. So you do work with fire department unions?
Yeah, it mainly benevolent funds is where we tend to stick with it. We've supported unions before, but yeah, we tend to stick with the benevolent funds. A lot of times it's just easier. Benevolent funds, and I know unions support their members and stuff, but benevolent funds traditionally are just for that. Like,
Right.
Guys sick, guys hurt. This is what we support them. So yeah.
All right, that's awesome. So again, everybody, if you don't drink fire department coffee, I highly recommend that you do. It's great. We drink it at the station. I drink it from time to time here at the house. I usually, you guys got to think about making like a canned coffee, because I'm all about canned coffee.
Yeah, we've said about like a ready to drink can.
Yeah, ready to drink canned coffee.
Well, you will be very happy in about 6 weeks. So.
Oh, hell yeah. See, look at that. Look at me thinking and you guys already doing. Yeah. That's awesome. That's awesome. Yeah. Is there anywhere or anything other than Fire Department Coffee, Fire Department Chronicles that people can find you and listen to your content and or find the help that you guys are offering?
Yeah. So yeah, anytime they make a purchase, it goes towards, like I said, 10% goes there. But if they ever need help, they can reach out to us at, go to firedepartmentcoffee.com. You click in the contact area. You can either email info@firedeptcoffee.com. You let us know what you're looking for. We ask, just give us as much information that you can, and then we choose. It's typically one person per month, but it really depends. Sometimes we've done 2 or 3. Sometimes we don't do one for 1 month, but we do 2 or 3 for the next month, that kind of thing. So, but reach out to us, let us know what's going on. If we can help, man, we're always down to help. We can't help everybody, but I thought it was me too.
No, I'm keeping that in there because last time we had a random cut of you just taking a piss.
Yeah, that's right.
Because you forgot to take out your earbuds.
That's right. But yeah, that just reach out to us, let us know the situation, and if we can help, we're always down to help.
That's awesome, man. I'm going to ask you, and I'm going to use this opportunity now to ask you if we have a pretty big event in about 3 months, November 11th and 12th in Webb City, Missouri. And it's a music festival. We have about 16 different artists. It's a 2-day event. We have a meet and greet November 11th and a all-day concert with those 16 artists on November 12th. There's a ticket event for the meet and greet, tickets for a VIP area during the concert, but the concert itself is 100% free. It's an outdoor amphitheater, and I wanted to invite Fire Department Coffee and yourself to come out there. You guys would have a free booth. Like, you can set up your own area, you can set up your own sales, everything. Everything's already all approved. I'm working with the city of Webb City.
That's awesome, dude.
Directly. So I wanted to invite Fire Department Coffee to come out there, set up a booth. They can sell their coffee. Hell, you guys can even probably make some coffee out there because it's during November month in Webb City, Missouri. I hear it's about 60 degrees, so it'd be a little chilly.
Is it November 11th and 12th?
Yeah, November 11th and 12th.
Friday and Saturday. Okay.
Yeah. So it's Veterans Day. It's Veterans Day weekend. So November 11th, it's Veterans Day weekend. So, and of course, benefits are going to the What Makes Us Fire Foundation, which you already know helps civil service members get and receive inpatient mental health treatment and supplement their income.
Nice.
And we're splitting the proceeds with the city of Webb City's civil service members, fire, EMS, police, and military. So the city of Webb City is going to also be receiving a check to help their civil service members, either with equipment, resources, whatever the case may be. I'm also working with them and hopefully developing a kind of like a peer support network or mentorship program that they can all utilize as well. So I would love, there's about 16 different artists. So we have Maurice from American Idol. We have Anthem Unsung, Honey and the Bee with KDB. We have C.E. Holloway. Man, you're asking me to remember 16 different names. Maddie,
it's amazing so far.
Maddie and Sam Anderson. They are up and coming artists. Okay, man, that's all I can remember off the top of my head. I'll have to go look.
Tell you what, send me the info. We'll talk to the team, and we're trying to attend as many events as possible this year. So, but send me the info, dude, and I'm sure we can make it work.
Yeah. Again, you guys would have a free booth, and it would be great to say Jason Patton showing up at the meet and greet. You guys come to the meet and greet. you guys already have your VIP passes and everything else. So just let me know if that's a possibility.
Yeah.
Sweet. Ladies and gentlemen, you heard it. The What Makes Us Fire Break the Silence concert series, possibly having Jason Patton and the fire department coffee team. So
awesome, dude.
We got to get firefighter Fenton out there too, because that damn mustache. Man, that mustache. How does his department let him keep that mustache?
Well, I mean, dude, are we going to talk about it, right? I guess we'll do fast. Let's just say there some people might be disappointed if they meet him. It's not real.
Are you kidding me? What? No.
Yeah, it's not real, man.
Oh, son of a bitch.
That's one of my favorite things to watch him at FDIC. People are like, oh my God, how do you get that on there? Like, keep it there. He's like, Amazon.
I thought, God bless it. My dreams.
Person, you know. Yeah, I know. The dreams are crushed.
My dreams are crushed. He would still have to do the podcast interview with that damn thing on.
Oh, no, he has to wear it, bro.
Yeah,
that's who Firefighter Fenton is, man.
Yeah, so. Exactly. Anyway, all right, brother. Well, I know you got to get going. This was a quick episode for everybody that's listening. I know you're used to a little bit longer, but Jason has things in place, things to do, places to be, or
things to do, places to go.
People to do, places to be.
To go. Yeah, places, yeah. People to go. You
have to do things.
Yes, there you go.
Yeah, there you go. Brother, I really do appreciate your time. I appreciate your insight. Hopefully I can have you on again, hopefully in the not so distant future, not in the almost 2-year future, with a little bit more time. We can dive into a little bit more detail and everything else, but I really do appreciate your time, brother. You've been a great friend to me. You have been an advocate for me. One of those people that called you when they were down in the dumps. That was me, and you were there. And I really do appreciate that. Thank you for supporting me and what I'm trying to accomplish as well. I hope that I can help you, Fire Department Coffee, Fire Department Chronicles, and you yourself, just as a brother and as a friend. If you ever need anything, please reach out and I'll do whatever I can to help. So, ladies and gentlemen, Jason Patton, Fire Department Chronicles, Fire Department Coffee, round of applause. Hopefully they're all clapping in their cars or something. I don't know.
Awesome, brother. I appreciate it, man. I appreciate it, dude.
I really do appreciate you as well, brother. What Makes Us Fire family? Go out there, have fun, stay safe. Be that person you want to be without allowing the world to dictate how you become that person. I promise you, when you become that better version of yourself and you put that out there, your world becomes a better place. Much love, stay safe, and peace. You can say bye if you want.
All right, bye.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, that was Jason Patton. I told you it was going to be a quick episode, but we went through a lot of different stuff. We went through a lot of different theories and ideas as to how and what we need to do to change the culture within the fire department, within really the civil service in general. And that's what it is. It's changing the culture, right? We have to depend on advocates that have been there to share their stories. And I think the more people that share their stories, the more normal it's going to become for us. And like he said, we need that person that's going to 100% give it all they got for the job, but then at the same time give it 100% and all they got when it comes to, dealing with their mental health issues and overcoming those things. I really think we do need a champion in both for them for the culture to change and for things to get different and for us to stop killing ourselves at the rate that we're killing ourselves at. So again, Jason Patton, brother, thank you so much for joining the show. What Makes Us Fire family, please do me a huge favor. Go follow him at Fire Department Chronicles on all the social media websites. If you're not, try Fire Department Coffee. If you're not already trying it, please. It's delicious coffee. They got some new stuff coming up. They also might be at the November 11th and 12th event. So if you want to go meet Jason Patton and some of the Fire Department Coffee team, that's the event you're going to want to be at. Also, please, if you're not following What Makes Us Fire on all your social media websites, please do. Just type in What Makes Us Fire. You'll find us. Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, you name it. Twitter, we're on it. Snapchat. We're on it. So please go. And Twitch. That's right. And Twitch. I keep forgetting Twitch. Yeah, you can go follow us on Twitch as well. So What Makes Us Fire. That's it. Go follow us. Check out WhatMakesUsFire.org. Get some What Makes Us Fire swag. Check out upcoming events. Sign up to be a volunteer. Learn about what's going on and donate if you can. Your donations help this podcast grow and help us move a hell of a lot closer to helping our civil service members get the help that they need and deserve. If you find yourself in a place right now where you need somebody to talk to, the National Suicide Prevention Hotline is 100% free, anonymous, and confidential. If you are a civil service member, first responder, or military, they do have a line at the National Suicide Prevention Hotline to get you in touch with somebody that kind of gets it a little bit more than maybe just a civilian would. The number is 1-800-273-8255. Again, the number is 1-800-273-8255. If making that phone call is just not for you, suicidepreventionlifeline.org. It's a separate entity, but they have a bunch of resources for you to go read, learn about what's going on, and hopefully guide you in the right direction for your mental health clarity and your just mental health well-being. I gotta say, with everything that's been going on this last month, with the event coming up in November, with being invited to MC events, I have been blessed, and I cannot thank you, the listeners, the What Makes Us Fire family, and those who support the What Makes Us Fire Foundation and the podcast enough. You all have been a rock for me when I felt like I was just reaching. You've been that hand that I can reach out to when I felt like I was drowning, and you have been a huge factor in me staying alive. And I don't know how to thank you guys for that, except for just keep on going and try to do it better every single time. So with that being said, much love to you all. Have fun, stay safe. Remember, be the change you want to see in the world without allowing that world to dictate how you see that change happen. Just be that best version of yourself, give it out to the world, and I promise you the world around you will change for the better. Much love, peace, and I'll catch you on the next one.